Greetings, welcome to Stabloid News, and tonight we're doing 17 Christmas movies you must watch during the festive season. Alright, let's get on with it. Silent Night, Deadly Night is what you would consider to be a cult classic, as I remember it from when I was a kid watching horror movie themes around the different upcoming holidays. It was released in 1984, so it has a fair amount of those typical 80s tropes. It is part of an American horror series consisting of 6 films. Originally it was titled Sleigh Ride, probably because of the 1972 psychological slasher of a similar name, Silent Night, Bloody Night. Then, they most likely said screw it, and did it anyway. So, the film follows a young man named Billy who experiences a psychotic break and goes on a murder spree dressed as Santa Claus. The film was actually pulled from theaters a week after its release after a massive backlash due to its murderous depiction of Santa Claus on its promotional material and, of course, very graphic at the time, footage of Saint Nick being a naughty boy. If you don't really enjoy watching old school movies, then there was a loose remake made in 2012 called just simply Silent Night. The next on our list is a bit more modern, and it's based around Della Myers, a suburban housewife who has a fight with her knobhead husband. So, she goes late night shopping, and being Christmas Eve, the parking is shocking. In a moment of road rage, she writes a nasty letter and puts it on a car that further ruined her already crappy day. This leads to her getting stuck in a very bad situation with some thugs, and let's just say she's in trouble, but she's also not taking no crap. Kim Basinger plays the main lead, and the movie is pretty good, but definitely not the best one on the list, although it is different to most of the movies you get around Christmas time. Another relatively modern Christmas film made last decade is P2. This is a thriller that follows a young businesswoman played by Rachel Nichols. Don't know her? Neither did I, until I looked and saw she was in hits like Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd. But she was in Star Trek and the 2005 Amityville horror remake with Ryan Reynolds, which I actually like, so sort of. Anyway, she gets lost and trapped in an underground parking area. We've all done that, haven't we? No, just me? Okay. Then the security turns to brutality when she is pursued by a crazed man who is supposed to be there for her safety. Surprisingly, it's a decent movie with believable characters and a grittiness that keeps you invested till the end, even if part of you is like, meh. Oh boy! Here we have some major cheese, or should I say crustiness? But if you're like me, then you don't mind the odd stupidly bad comedy horror. In this epically Z-grade flick, a witch cooks up some Christmas shenanigans when she brings back her dead son, who happened to be a serial killer. It's like Chucky meets Shrek as she makes him a giant murderous gingerbread man. Not my gumdrop button! With a need for revenge on the woman who had him executed. I could only find footage for this on YouTube, so excuse the quality, but it's actually a good laugh, with some mildly shocking moments, and of course, Gary Busey just makes everything a little more crazy. One of the earliest entries on our list is Christmas Evil, aka You Better Watch Out, and also Terror in Toyland in some parts of the world. Released in 1980, it's a pretty dark kind of Yuletide film of comical, festive fights. Plot: a young Harry is exposed to some sexual deviance with his mum and his father dressed as Santa, which clearly does a little psychological damage as he runs and hides in the attic. He grows up and essentially becomes a toy maker who revels in the Christmas spirit. Aw, nice! But wait. He suffers a mental breakdown and then starts to slay. This is a very similar one to Silent Night, Deadly Night, or should I say, the latter is similar to this. But they both have their differences and are festive enough for the festive season. So just watch it. Santa killing? Again? What is this, some kind of Christmas horror list? Well, fine, I'll mix it up. For a little. In Central European folklore, Krampus is an ugly, horned, anthropomorphic figure. That's subjective. And conveyed as a half-goat, half-demon. Well, that's the start to a good Christmas horror, right? Right? Are you with me? Yes? Okay, well, Krampus is a dark fantasy comedy horror from 2015, which is about the adventure of an Austro-Bavarian monster who punishes children who have misbehaved during the Christmas season. He's no Saint Nick. It's good fun, semi-B grade, I use semi loosely, and also it features the talents of David Koshner from Anchorman and Parks and Rec's Adam Scott. Could have used its themes a little more, but overall it's a good flick to put on to make you jump and spill your hot chocolate all over your loved ones. Kidding. Choose your sips wisely. Next up, we're heading down under with an Australian holiday movie called Red Christmas. It's got loads of energy and it's great because it takes its theme seriously, while also kind of taking the piss out of the tropes. It's based around a family gathering to celebrate. When the party is crashed by a mysterious cloaked figure, the story unfolds. But I won't say too much. There is loads of gore, but lacks in the scare department. However, this Aussie horror is well constructed, nasty little thriller, and if you like some blood and guts, get into it, you right little bugger. Now we're off to the lands of bangers and mash, jolly old England, for a moment when Emily Blunt gets into a spot of bother. Shortly before the university's winter break, a young lady played by Blunt asks for a ride home. They set off on the road trip, get to know each other, fall in love, the end. That's it. Oh hell nah! Things get weirder than a tallywhacker on a crumpet when a reckless bastard drives them off the road, causing them to be stranded in the middle of nowhere in the blistering cold. The two struggle to survive and the trials begin. Good flick. Set around Christmas. I'll win. Yay! Give it a watch and let me know what you think. So you all pretty much knew this one would be on the list as it's released now, if you're in 2019. If not, then hello, future? Am I still cool? Alive? Still not relevant? Yeah! But I'm actually talking about the original from 1974, which has a 70% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Not the 2019 one, which has 38%. I haven't seen the new one, so I can't really pass judgment, but from what I hear, it holds very little to no resemblance to its previous iterations. Anywho, a group of sorority sisters receive anonymous, seedy phone calls. They joke and egg on the caller until things get a little dark. Things start going on around campus, and the girls are left fending for their lives as the mystery unravels. Are you ready? It's time for the most terrifying thing in the world! Psycho Kids! No, not Jake Paul's fans. I'm talking about sick, psychopathic, killer children. The children, which is also the name of the movie, head up to the family estate to celebrate the holidays with their loved ones until one kid falls very ill and starts to act really strange. No one clicks on to what's happening until it's too late. This is a very pleasing movie, and once again a new take on the Christmas set horrors. The cinematography doesn't show a lot of gore, but it executes it in a way that is still very savage. The unpredictability of kids meets all your fave virus flicks. I recommend a watch. This is one that'll make you wee-wee your pants. Dead End is a French horror thriller about a very dysfunctional family who gets lost on what seems like a never-ending road in a deep, dark forest. A very eerie succession of events signal trouble ahead. After a near collision with another car, they pick up a haunting hitchhiker and her kid. Things start to twist and turn, and they begin to experience horrific events on this carpool. More like a Deadpool. Okay, I'll go. Apologies. It actually has a few surprises and is reminiscent of Twilight Zone episodes, just extended. It has humor, tension, thrilling, and all in all, it's pretty much a horror mixed bag. Check it out! This 27 comedy horror follows poor old Michael Brisket. Brisket. And unfortunately, he is spending the Christmas alone. Again. He spends his time doing menial work for his jerk boss instead of celebrating, so, as you would, he jumps at the opportunity when invited to a Christmas dinner by his stunning co-worker, Cindy. He just doesn't realize at the time that when they say they'll be glad to have him, they mean it very literally. It's low budget, but has an off-kilter charm as he adventures to find the perfect Christmas amongst all the crap. For a film about a very odd family feast, it's not all in bad taste. Wink. Deadly Games, also known as Dial Code Santa Claus, or Game Over, or Hide and Freak, or in France, 3615 Code Paranol. Paranol? Paranol? Hope I got that right. Ha ha ha! Think Home Alone meets Jigsaw, then meets Santa. This movie was made in 1989, a year before Home Alone, and tells the tale of a kid named Thomas that has his home invaded by a psychopathic Santa and sets lots of festive traps. Sound similar? Director Rennie Manza thought so, as he threatened legal action to Fox, who he thought remade his film. Anywho, the kid is taking care of his grandfather who can't defend himself and thinks Santa is mad because he's still awake on Christmas Eve. Oh, so innocent. But it's a psycho Santa. How many is that now? Oh, I've lost count. Basically, this is Kevin McAllister turned up to 11. Krampus is back, baby! This time he's unleashed along with evil elves and wreaks havoc on the small town of Bailey Downs, where radio DJ Dangerous Dan has probably downed a few too many Baileys, if you know what I mean. William Shatner plays the host as he receives calls from scared residents who speak of the odd disturbances at the local mall. This is an anthology movie consisting of 4 short stories in the vein of Creepshow or Tales from the Crypt, and a fun watch for those with the attention span of a wall-eyed reindeer doing lines of snow. Brad Miska from Bloody Disgusting says, while A Christmas Story doesn't have the qualities of a big theatrical release, it's glossy enough to bring joy to those who end up seeing it. And now for something completely different. Think Night of the Living Dead meets La La Land. Yep, it's a zombie apocalypse musical. Woo! A comedy like Shaun of the Dead, messing with the zombie tropes and adding a little sing-song. Can zombies even hold a key? Maybe a B? Like brains. No. I, for one, love a good musical, and still to this day think Little Shop of Horrors is a masterpiece. Fight me. Starring a whole bunch of relatively unknown actors, it still really does show great chemistry and makes for an interesting adventure as they search for their loved ones. It's fun, it has blood, zombies, and a little Christmas fear. I mean cheer. Ooh! Versatility! This Australian-American psychological horror is about a babysitter, Ashley, who heads into a suburban home to babysit their 12-year-old son. Some home intruders make everything fall into a pile of stinky Jenga blocks, and then try to, well, intrude. This is their house. They have to defend it. Oh, not versatile. This adult humor with kids in a bad situation is kind of like Superbad mixed with Home Alone and sprinkled with a little of The Stranger. Oh, oops, oh, the lid came off. Now my movie's all messed up. Why? Nah, I'm playing. It's actually a very good movie and very self-aware of what it is, and as you watch it, you'll realize. Get into it, you sexy little horror ninjas. my, so much time has passed. I went and saved the best for last. Gremlins. Yes, Gremlins! One of my all-time faves. Woo! You know that movie with the furry baby Yoda? This to me was just the epitome of Christmas, with presents, horror, and some good old-fashioned hidden lectures about do what you're told! The main dude, besides Gizmo, Furby's brother, if you didn't know, well, his father anyway, he gets him a present from spooky Chinatown with 3 very specific instructions. Spoiler alert! Billy done goofed. And the town is overrun with feral, yet fun, goblins. Watch this, and part 2, and then this again, and also Little Shop of Horrors, right after you subscribe and hit that little bell icon. Ding! This is my first video on this channel, and I'm keen to do a whole lot more. If you think I missed some great holiday movies, then let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I know about Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that lanky son of a gun, but not really as horror as I was thinking for this list. Any hoot, stab yous later, and bye bye bye.